Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of this Fan Movie Trivia Schmodown League. On today's show, we have two great guests and great contestants who have a wealth of movie trivia knowledge. Chris Dohmen and Ryan McLellan. Chris, what are your expectations in this Fan Movie Trivia Schmodown League?
My expectations for this league are everyone to have a good time with the matches, for everyone to, not take it too seriously, but I expect there to be some tough competition, and also for us to all learn more about film through wanting to do this.
And Ryan, what are your expectations from this league?
Yeah, basically along the lines of what Chris said, just have a good time, learn more about movies, but it's all about, to me, it's about the competition and just getting on here and seeing who really is the better between all of us at movie trivia, and also just emulating what we love so much about the Schmodown. And since we can't compete in the legitimate Schmodown, it's fun to do this here on our own and see how we would do if we were able to be on the official Schmodown.
You guys haven't done anything like this before, have you?
Not at all.
No.
Do you have a gauge of what your knowledge is? Is it classics, Oscars, Marvel, 80s, 90s, action movies, dramas, sci-fi, anything like that, Ryan?
I would say that superhero movies are a strong suit of mine altogether, and my favorite genre is sci-fi, so I have a feeling that I'll know a good amount of sci-fi stuff. And lately, I'd say probably in the past year or so, I've been watching a lot of classic movies, so I think that might be something that I'm decent at.
Chris?
Well, I've been watching movies my entire life, and I have a decent gauge of basically across the whole board. I know a good chunk of classics. I know a good chunk of sci-fi. I know a good chunk of horror, a good chunk of action-adventure. But my strongest suits are definitely animated, Disney, and Star Wars.
Do you guys particularly know your weaknesses?
Movie release dates. I think that's everybody's weakness.
Surprisingly not one of mine, but one of my weaknesses is definitely musicals. I know, look, I'm about RB3 level. Luckily, I'm a little better than Cobster, but about RB3 level when it comes to musicals.
And one last question before we get on with the Schmodown. How do you think the lights are going to affect you?
The lights here won't be as bad simply because we don't have cameras in front of us. It's just the audio. But the pressure can definitely still rack up to you because you have a very short amount of time to answer your question. If you can't come up with it within literally 2 seconds, you're going to be stuck thinking about it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's basically how I see it going, especially too, just because this is new to us. So for me, if I don't know the answer, I don't know it. But I think that if I find myself stumbling over a lot of these answers, it's going to make me more and more nervous, I think, and that might cause trouble for me. But ultimately, I think that it's just a matter of really taking the time off the bat and really looking for that answer and not letting the pressure get to me too much. I think that'll be key for me.
Well, I think it is time to start the Fan Movie Trivia Schmodown Episode 1. Round 1 is very much like the Schmodown you see on Collider. However, there's only 4 questions per in cinemas this week, and in honor of the sequel to Ouija being released, round 1 is all horror questions.
Whew.
All right.
Chris, you can have lot number 1, and Ryan, you can have lot number 2. Chris, you can go second, and Ryan, you can go first.
All right.
Ryan, for your first question in the Fan Movie Trivia Schmodown, what movie had the famous line, "Do you like scary movies"?
Is it
5,
Scream?
4. Correct for 1 point.
Whew. Never even seen that movie. Ugh.
And for your second question, who directed Halloween 2?
I just saw an article the other day. It's Rob Zombie.
Incorrect. It is Rick Rosenthal. For your third question, name the 2 stars of the Conjuring movies.
It's Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Correct for your second point.
This is nerve-wracking already.
And for your last question in round 1, what year did Event Horizon come out?
Oh my goodness. Sometime in the 90s. And I'm just going to have to guess 1996.
Oh!
Really?
1997.
Oh my goodness.
2 out of 4 for Ryan in his first round. The score is 2-0. Chris, for your first question, who directed the 2011 horror comedy Fright Night? Five.
Thing is, I know it's, and
4,
I'm blanking.
3, 2,
I don't know.
1. It's incorrect. The answer is Greg Gillespie.
I didn't know that one either.
For your second question, name the horror movie that contains the quote, "As Mr. Sloan always says, there's no I in team, but there is an I in pie, and there's an I in meat pie, and a gram of meat is team." I don't know what he's talking about.
Sounds like something out of an American Werewolf in London, but I don't think that would be the right answer.
5, 4, 3, 2.
American Werewolf in London.
Incorrect. The answer is Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
And for your third question, what is the name of Ripley's cat in the sci-fi horror Alien?
Oh, man. Oh, God, it's been forever since I've seen this movie. Dewey.
Incorrect. The answer is Jonesy. For your last question in the first round, what is the subtitle of the third Hellraiser film?
Yikes, I got nothing.
Are you sure? Don't want to take a guess?
Hellraiser Lives. I don't know.
The correct answer was Hell on Earth.
Yeah.
For round 1, Ryan is in the lead 2-0. However,
That's a very rough one.
Chris can make it back in round 2. This is how round 2 works. It is a speed round. There'll be 9 questions. Contestants will answer first with their name and then they will give the answer. However, if they do not give the answer within the first 2 seconds of giving their name, then they will lose a point.
So just to clarify, saying our name is like hitting a buzzer, essentially.
Essentially, yes.
All right.
For the first question, round 2. Who directed the 1927 film Metropolis?
Ryan, Fritz Lang.
Correct for 1 point. In Stand By Me, what job did River Phoenix's character have when he grew up?
Chris, lawyer.
Correct,
Ugh.
3-1. 3. Who directed The Untouchables?
Ryan, Clint Eastwood.
Incorrect. So that brings Ryan down to 2-1. Name the movie that this quote is from. I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Townhauser Gate. All those moments will be lost in
Ryan,
time.
Blade Runner.
Correct, 3-1. Supposedly, how tall was the invisible rabbit Harvey in the 1950 movie Harvey?
Oh. I definitely don't know it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, no one's getting that point. It was 6 feet 3.5 inches.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a bit of shame that nobody else got that. For question 6, what is the police captain's name in Casablanca?
Nope. I don't know it.
Chris?
Oh, the name's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not going to answer.
Okay. Alright, no one gets that one as well. The answer was Captain Louis Renault.
I would say, and Louis would not have been acceptable, right?
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I thought it was Louis, but I just didn't have a last name.
For question 7 in round 2. Holly Golightly and Paul Varjak go into the jewellery store Tiffany's in Breakfast at Tiffany's. What is their budget?
This is a very exciting schmodown.
Everybody's listening in with bated breath. Ryan, is it $10?
Oh, correct!
Okay. It was 10 or 20. I couldn't
Whoa.
remember which.
Oh, 4-1 Ryan. In the penultimate question in round 2. In Charlie Chaplin's movie Modern Times, who plays Charlie Chaplin's love interest?
It's blasphemy, I know, but I've never seen a single Charlie Chaplin movie, so...
Not even a guess.
I don't want to lose that point.
This is a game of strategy here. I don't think anyone's going to get it. The answer was Paulette Goddard. And for the last question in round 2. What is the full title of Doctor Strangelove?
Chris.
Said it first. Good job, man. Good job.
Thanks.
The scores are now 4-2 as we move into the third round, which is brought to you by IMDb. Each contestant will receive a movie, but the only things they will know of the movie are its genres, release date, and 3 key words. If they can't guess the movie, then they can ask for 2 more keywords. However, they will only be able to receive 3 points. If they are able to guess the answer with the only 3 keywords and the release date and the genres, they will receive 5 points. After receiving the next 2 keywords, if they still can't guess the movie, then they will be able to ask for 1 more keyword, but their answer will only be worth 1 point. Are we all clear?
Crystal.
Okay, Ryan. Your release date is 1987. Your genres are drama, fantasy, and romance. Your first 3 keywords are suicide, library, and angel.
Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 more keywords.
Your next 2 keywords, which brings your answer to a possible 3 points, is circus and Berlin.
What? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna need that last keyword.
Your last keyword, which brings your total answer to only 1 point if you get it right, is trapeze artist.
Chris knows it. I don't know it. I have no idea what it is.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know it.
Chris, you won't get any points, but do you know the answer?
Wings of Desire.
I've never heard of that movie at all.
It was remade in America as City of Angels with Meg Ryan
Oh,
and
okay.
Nicolas Cage.
I've never heard of that movie either.
Chris, for your 5-pointer. Your year is 2002. Your genres are comedy and drama. And your first 3 keywords are book, screenwriter, and thief.
Adaptation.
For the 5 points,
Good
Chris
job, man.
stormed into the lead.
Good job.
7-4, going into the final round. For this final round, each contestant will receive 1-minute audio clippings. If they manage to name the film, they will get 5 points. By the way, there is stealing. Ryan, you're behind, so I'll give you your first audio clipping.
Okay.
I hope this works.
This can be no trick. A conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. Love? Me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth, I can bear them witness. And virtuous 'tis so, I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her.
And that is the end of your sound clip.
All right.
15 seconds.
And if I guess incorrectly, Chris can steal.
Yes.
I don't know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know. Romeo and Juliet. That's what it sounded like.
Chris, would you like to steal?
Well, since I know I can't lose points, I might as well go for it. I'm going to say Hamlet.
You both got in the ballpark. It was Much Ado About Nothing.
Okay.
Chris, here is your audio. Remember, Ryan can steal and get it right and win. So, for your audio clipping, Chris.
Now, what can I do for you, Mr. Cairo?
May a strange offer condolences for your partner's unfortunate death.
Thanks.
Is there, Mr. Spade, as the newspapers imply, a certain relationship between that unfortunate happening and the death a little later of the man Thursby? Beg your pardon, no. More than idle curiosity prompted my question. See, Mr. Spade, I'm trying to recover ornament that, shall we say, has been mislaid.
Uh-huh.
I thought and hoped you could assist me. The ornament is a statuette, black figure of a bird. I am prepared to pay on behalf of the figure.
Yeah.
Maltese Falcon.
Yep.
And your winner.
Congrats, man.
Thank you, man.
Chris is our first winner in the Movie Trivia Showdown.
Good job. That was a good game.
Dude, that was a great, that was a great match. You took me to the ropes, man. You took me to the ropes. No, as soon as you said Mr. Cairo, I'm like, oh wait. But then I could have swore I heard
Yep.
Bogey's voice.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
voice. Yep.
Bogey's voice. Maltese Falcon. Oh.
Chris, you've just won your first match. Where do you want to go from here?
I would love to actually do this again. Not just because I won, but because this is a different take on the Schmodown, and I like this. Like, I was sort of hoping to keep it a little more traditional, but you know what, Harvey? You're onto something with doing it in this particular way. I want to actually, really get used to this format. Although there is a guy who I do want to call out, sort of from the depths of hell of Schmoville, if you want, and sort of give him a chance to stand in the spotlight for maybe the first time in a while. That being Mr. Paul Wolf, since he got just straight up abandoned on the Schmoville podcast. I want to give him a chance to come back, and do something. So, Paul, if you're listening to this, sometime in the near future, man, you and me, maybe get yourself a win first, then we'll really make it an interesting match.
Ryan, a disappointing loss. You were in the lead for quite some time. Where do you think it went wrong?
I think just there are spots in my movie knowledge, and there are always things that I don't know, and so I think what really hurt me is those big points at the end were both movies that I didn't know. So basically, from here, my strategy will be just start watching movies, watch a lot of movies, and I think that'll help fill in some of my knowledge spots. Yeah, this was a great match. I had a lot of fun. I was nervous as all get out, but I had a lot of fun. Chris was a great opponent. Obviously, he was the better man this time, but I'm not done. Not by a long shot. I'll be back. I'll be fighting someone else. But in the meantime, I can't wait to start commentating on some matches with you, Harvey, and I really cannot wait to get this fan Schmodown League off the ground. Everybody's really excited. The hype is real, and I really cannot wait to see where we take this thing.
Chris Dohmen will be playing again straight away. If he can get 2 wins in a row, that will put him right to the top, ahead of RB3 in the fan Schmodown table, as you'd like. How do you see your next match going against Chris Day, another Schmoes No fan.
This time around, I'm going to keep the trash talking to a bit of a minimum. I'm going to keep this a little more classy because, unlike the two Matts in our league, Matt Kearns and Matt Beer, I'm going to keep it a little, I think me and Chris are going to keep it a little more calm this time around because granted, what those two are doing there back and forth is amazing, but, you don't always need the trash talk. Sometimes you just need a good gentleman's match. And that's what I expect this to be, a good gentleman's match.
I think that is about it. From Chris, Ryan, and me, it's goodbye.